Let's talk about doing lengthening and shortening adjustments on our hoodie pattern. So I have in front of us just the front first, and I want to do some measurements or calculations on my pattern pieces before I really start to do an overall adjustment anywhere. So our front, what we need to know is this is the center front over here. This is where our zipper is going to go. And I know I'm going to cut the extra large is what I've determined right now. So I want to find how long is that to begin with. So we're going to come in and first do our 5/8 down here. This is my line, my cutting line right here for the extra large. Right? So if I'm cutting there, my stitch line is now going to be 5/8 inch down from that when we stitch around the edges. So I have set this at 5/8 inch, and I would lay it over here. Turn it this way actually, with the 5/8 on my cutting line, because when I get ready to sew this, not my zipper, that doesn't affect my length. If I did it from over here, that's just finding that stitch line. The length though is between this seam and this seam. So this seam up here and what's going to happen there. So 5/8 inch off of this means that's where the finish is. 5/8 inch. I think I did that a little bit narrow. Go a little bit lower. There you go. 5/8 there. That's the top finish when it's all stitched in on that line. And down here is where we attach the band. So that has a 5/8 inch seam as well. So I'm going to put this right here. Okay. Just barely see him on the camera, but there he is. So now we've got where our finish is between. Okay. So the zipper on this, before we measure that, I want to show you how the zipper on this actually goes through the ribbing. So if we zero in just a little bit, okay, the marking for the zipper goes all the way through. This is that ribbing or just self fabric or whatever. It's the hemband piece. So we finish up here at the neckline and we finish at the bottom of that hemband. That is still length, and your zipper has to be part of that. So where do I find that? How do I tell that? Well, let's get out our hemband. And remember I told you that it's going to be cut a bit much longer piece, but it has a fold line right there. So we're going to fold it. There's the marking for the fold line. And I'm going to fold it in half right now on that fold line. Being very careful to do that. And I'm folding all the way down on that fold line. Okay. So that's how our hemband is going to be finished. The distance between the fold, this will be on the very bottom. It creates a band. There's no like hem stitching there. And it attaches on these two edges. It will sew to the bottom of the front piece here. So I'm going to go back out away and let you see what I'm going to do next. About right there is good. Okay. So this becomes a stitching line. all the way along here. And we're going to, this will be the front part of it where there's a notch. And I'm going to just highlight this right now because that's where I'm going to, my cut line. And this is my notch. Okay. So when it gets folded in half, there is a seam all the way around there. And that notch is going to match this notch. So when it goes on, let's just turn it this way a minute. This is still my cutting line. That's my notch for my extra large. And it's actually going to match up with that notch underneath there. And so a 5/8 inch seam all along there, which is what this mark represents. Now I'm going to mark this one with a 5/8 inch seam. And this one, I'm going to do it a couple of places because we're going to pin this onto the bottom to do what is kind of a rough tissue fitting. It's not a true full tissue fitting, but it does help. So we are going to pin it on like a so. I'm going to match up that notch, and now I'm going to pin it in my 5/8 seam along the bottom of this. And I'm pinning it like as if, and matching up these blue lines with that one. I can see through there that I'm on it, and I'm pinning it at the 5/8 inch. Those little markings there. 5/8 inch seam allowance, making sure that those blue edges stay together. As if I am pin sewing right now. I'm going to go around over to here. This won't fit exactly on there because this is meant to go to the back as well. And we do a procedure when we attach it. So, but right now, I'm going to go ahead and fold this so it doesn't confuse me. I'm going to pin it just to itself, not clear through to the front. Because now what I want to do is I want to fold this down on that 5/8 inch pinned seam line that we just did. Like that. That is our finished rib. I think I need to do one here just a little bit better. It doesn't want to lay exactly flat. So we're going to pin it clear out over to there. And another one right in here. And then we'll pin this back. Now, what I've got here is our finished length between that. That's where it will end, is our hem band on it. And up there is where it comes in at here, right under our, at the pit, like your little wishbone area in your neckline is where that lines up to. And then this is the bottom of it, just like that. So now I can measure and see what this really is going to be. You can also hold it up to you, which is, I do suggest, just make sure that this seam right here is right in that point of your neck, right down in there, so that you know what's going on with that. Okay, so let me see if I can get a little closer. That isn't a very good one. I'm concerned that you measure right in the wishbone point, where your collarbone comes around to the front and forms that little V in the front of your neck. That's where that's where we want this to be, and that's where it's going to be. So you would hold up and put your little 5/8 marking right on that, and then you could let it drop, and you would see the length. Okay. The other thing that you need to be aware of, this band is going to bring it in, and it's meant to actually sit at your between your waist and your high hip, and then blousoon over a bit, right? Like a jacket kind of does. If you're wearing it open, of course it will come straight down. But if you zip it closed, you're going to have some edges so that it actually sits closer to your waist. All right, so let's first measure this. We know that we want to start here, and now we can measure straight down to the end. And it looks like it's going to finish at 25 and a fourth. So I'm going to write there 25 inches and a fourth inch with band measure, so that I know that I have measured it with the band, because you have to get the exact length that you want it to be. Now I want to point something out to you before you ever like decide if you're going to add or subtract to this. This pattern has a very strange notion. The zipper itself, it says a separating zipper right in here, right? And this one is the small, medium, and large. It says 24-inch separating zipper. Then we go to the 1X, 2X, 3X pattern. And what does it say? A 24-inch separating zipper. We measured this as 25 and a fourth finished. That means your zipper would be about 1 inch and a fourth to 1.5 inches too short. It really plays into then also when you're doing a small or a medium, because it is, you can see how there's difference up here. Now let's go back out here. So we measured this at 25 and a fourth. So that means that my zipper is going to stop clear down here, and it will leave a weird place that doesn't have any zipper. Same is true. I mean, let's say I was going to make the extra large or the 3 extra large. Boy, that is already giving me another 1.5 inches there. So 1.5 inches more to this length, plus what I already knew, makes it 26.5 inches long. And we already know that they only ask for a 24-inch zipper. Same thing, the opposite thing happens if it is the smaller sizes. You're going to have less, and now you've got a zipper that's too long. So this is why we do this at the beginning with our adjustments and getting ready to cut out, and we measure what size you actually need. And then there will be another little video and the sheets or the to place your order. Now let's go back to, we can't really decide that I need a 25 and a fourth inch zipper right now unless I know that's where I'm going to leave the length of the garment. Well, I held it up and I don't want it there. I want to do an extended one. And I've decided I want to bring it to a finish of 30 inches. So in my mind, 30 inches, I am going to go down here. Wanted to get my Wawa catalog out, because this is where we're going to order zippers from. And I'm just going to go to the separating zippers for a moment. That's non-separating. Here's jacket separating zippers. And, oh, no, that's a pant. Doesn't separate. Close, open bottom. That one does when it says jacket. Pants and dresses don't. That one does. And here are the lengths that I have. Look, I have a 30-inch that I could go to. Let's just zoom back in a little bit again. So this jacket one there, it goes even up to a 36. So my lengths, I could do a 24 if I wanted to have a, we'll talk about the size, but if I wanted to have a metal zipper, I think that, this one here says I can do a 24, 30, or 36. And since we're not in the classroom, I let you shorten and lengthen the zipper because I have a kit for it. It looks like you can purchase one yourself, but, at this point, that's probably a little bit much to be worried about. But it just comes with the pliers and the parts and these kind of stoppers and whatever that you pinch and crimp off so that the zipper won't come off of the coils that it is zipping on. So it looks like I could have that choice there. On this one, we have even more. On the aluminum jacket zipper, it looks like in the, and I could even do two-way, but let's just do a one-way separating jacket. Open at the bottom, that means it separates. And here, I can do 24, 36, 28, 30, 36, 48, 60, and 80 inches if I wanted. Two-way means like this one right there, the two-way, if I wanted to do have it zip from the bottom and the top, whichever portion you wanted to be able to get into, some longer coats and etc., have that option. It, though, has 24, 26, and 30, 36, 48, and a 60. And then there's the reversible zipper, which we're not making a reversible jacket today, so you probably wouldn't want that, but it does come to a 36. I can do that. Let's look at another one. Make sure that we have full options. Okay, the brass colored one, metal ones, they go full range in the one way. They do some in the two way, and they have some reversible. And then let's see about the plastic ones. Those are metal. Let's look at some molded ones. Here's the nylon coil zipper. And here we've got a number 5, which is kind of the average size of the zipper, but its length in one way goes clear to 48. Two way, I could go to 36. Molded plastic zipper. These are those heavy, that Joann's carries a lot of the molded plastic zippers. And those two, for the open bottom, so that it's a jacket zipper, you would have up to 36 inch, two-way zip, 36, reversible, 36. And in two different sizes, even in an 8, a bigger, and even in a 10, you can see what your options are. Well, I just said I wanted to do 30 inches, which that looks like I could have a perfect size zipper. So back to that thing, I want you to actually think within the size or length that we have a zipper for, so that you don't have to worry about adjusting it, and you don't have to get a zipper kit. You don't have to figure out how it's not going to slide right off. It's the best to just get it, make your pattern the length that you already know a jacket zipper will be. So we're going to make mine, just like I said, a 30 inches. So that means if I'm at 25 1/4, and I take my 30 inches that I want it to be, so if we have 30 inches is my goal, and I'm going to take away the 25 1/4 that I already have, that means I need a 3/4 to make that 1, and it would be 4 3/4 inches added on, because these two plus together makes 4/4 or a 1. That's a whole 1 inch, and 29. So 29 plus 1 inch from the fractions equals my 30-inch length. So it means that I am going to do an adjustment of making it 4 3/4 inches longer.